Hello and welcome back to the Design Hub. I'm Molly, your host, and today I'm here with Thomas Lemon. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Molly. It's a pleasure to be here.
So to start off, I'm going to ask you the question that I ask everybody, and that's how did you get into the design field? How did you get interested in it?
So for me, it all started with Lego in the bedroom. So I was building all these models of planes and that sort of thing. And then I was pushed at school in the subject area of DT. So my teacher there, Mr. Watts, he would teach me woodworking skills.
Hmm.
So I had this passion for woodworking for quite a while. And then the teacher, Mrs. McSween, came along to that school, who then pushed my theoretical learning and then pushed me to enter for competitions such as the ALU Award. And then she also recommended me for a design, engineering, and technology scholarship at Merchant Taylors. And here I was exposed to a state-of-the-art sort of facility. I really developed my skills in design engineering and technology and product design. So I took product design for GCSE. I then took it again for A level alongside maths and physics. So at A level, I developed this trailer called Easy Trail, which addressed the issue of material scarcity in developing countries such as Africa.
Okay.
And and then it sort of seemed as a natural path to follow going on to design engineering. So along with the maths and the physics that I was studying as well at A level, I was sort of just the DT head was sort of pushing me to go for a design engineering degree.
I did DT. I absolutely loved it.
It's a great subject, yeah.
100%.
I love
Um,
the creativity, hands-on working, that side of it.
oh
I
my
think it's
God,
great.
yeah. That was fun. Also, they allowed us to work with tools, and I'm not saying I shouldn't have been allowed near the tools, but
Yeah.
so you've mentioned that you worked on a project where you kind of focused on the material scarcity in developing countries. Now, I
Yes.
know that you've worked on a lot of different projects. Um,
Yes.
could you tell me about possibly like one of your favorites or perhaps one that you're most proud of?
Okay. Um, so one of my favorite projects, and one that I am most proud of actually, is since coming back to university post-placement at Sagentia, we've had a module in first semester called Design Methods and Communication. So this is a module where you're learning the different design skills like biomimicry and including as well TRIZ design principles. And so you're learning these different techniques. Then you've got a brief of designing a product for the elderly and working on their hygiene and improving their hygiene. So I looked at developing an improved toothbrush for the elderly. So
Okay.
my granddad, he suffered a stroke in 2016. And sometimes when I'm back from holidays, I take caring responsibility of him. I know how difficult it is for him to brush his teeth. And then I looked at doing some primary research with him. So task analysis that I did with him showed that it was taking him about 5.5 minutes to brush his teeth. So compared to you or I, that might take 2 minutes, say,
Hmm.
it's almost triple the time, as well as then the complications of toothpaste spills all over his clothing and that sort of thing. So looking at a product that could be engineered to address those issues. And so we had the opportunity on this module as well to pitch our problem area and sort of where we were up to in that concept generation stage to the Loughborough Enterprise Network. So I've kind of got this
Okay.
entrepreneurial flair about me. And so I really enjoyed just doing this stand-up Dragon's Den pitch to what I saw was investors, but obviously the network team. And and then yeah, I was really happy with the outcome of that project. So worked on the mechanical systems and development of this smart toothbrush that had what it was included toothpaste inside the brush. And then I
Mhm.
worked on the forces so that an elderly individual could squeeze that toothbrush. And
Okay.
then it was housed inside of like a smart hub so that carers or the elderly could get reminders to brush their teeth. Um, and yeah, no, so I was really happy with the outcome of that project. And yeah, there was a good opportunity as well to implement the skills that I learned on placement. So
Mhm.
like surface modeling and also key shot rendering, which helped my project stand out compared to some others.
So you just mentioned your placement, and you also mentioned, correct me if I'm saying this wrong, Sagentia?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
So you did a placement there. How long did
Yes.
you do it for? Was it a year in industry?
Yeah, so it was a
Okay.
12-month placement, so from September 2024 to September 2025. Yeah, it was an incredible learning opportunity, Sagentia.
So what kind of things, if a student is looking at perhaps doing a year in industry, what kind of things did you do? How did you actually like find the experience as a whole?
I found it really rewarding. So, one of the things I was mostly doing was working on proof of principle prototype development. So, where we've got an idea and then building a basic model and testing and refining and showing some outcomes of those to international clients.
Okay.
So, I had this immense opportunity on placement to work on a couple of multi-million pound projects. Um,
No
that
pressure.
was just incredible. I had full responsibility at times to work on entire modules of a surgical system. And so I was thrown sort of straight into the deep end. It was quite intense learning at the start. So a few
Mm.
weeks of coming to grips with SolidWorks, which before, so at Loughborough we learn Siemens NX
Oh
for
yeah.
CAD predominantly. So there is a module as well where we learn some other CAD packages, but I had not much exposure to SolidWorks. So I quickly grappled SolidWorks when I got to Sagentia. Now, the benefit that I had was I was the only placement that year. So I could
Oh.
just go to team members and sort of watch them doing a bit of CAD, and then they'd be happy to have one-on-ones with me as well. So it was just this sort of real push with my learning going on placement. So I'd 100% recommend it to other engineering students.
Would you say getting chucked in at the deep end was a good thing for you, or would you say it was like,
No,
oh,
100%, 100%.
yeah?
I mean, I'm someone that would take on a challenge, so I was like all for learning a new package and quickly learning and getting put into the client meetings and that sort of thing. Loughborough, so how it works with Loughborough is they have a placements team. So whilst you're on placement there, you're filling out these quarterly reports.
Okay.
And so you kind of set some objectives at the start. And I pushed myself with these sort of 20 initial objectives where I wanted to be with the clients and really sort of stretch my learning. And so yeah, no, being thrown into the deep end was a really good thing on that placement. And I'm really thankful to Sagentia for all the learning that I had there.
So the other thing I also wanted to ask you about, still to do with design, is that you're also an IED student member.
Yes, correct.
So how did you kind of find both the signing up as a student member and also like how have you found your experience as a student member of the IED?
So I think how it worked was in first year, the Wolfson School of Engineering at Loughborough sent out an email saying that we could register with the IED. And obviously we were then at that point made aware of the professional, chartership later down the line and accreditation. So signing up was, I believe, just a form that was really quickly sent out. It was really simple and easy to do. And then what drew me to it was so the professional accreditation, but then also the network through the IED, and then
Mm.
also the events that the IED then promote. So I remember attending Machine Building Live, I think it was 2023. But
Oh
there
wow.
I was meeting like manufacturers and all these different suppliers, learning different production techniques, that sort of thing. And I think all of that was from the IED reaching out on these sort of weekly emails and that sort of thing. And then I found out about the Jeff Kirk Award on the IED website. So it was sort of like a no-brainer to apply for that as well.
And you won it.
Yes, yeah.
How was that experience winning the Jeff Kirk's Young Members Award?
Honestly, it was so rewarding. It was such a like proud achievement of mine. My placement year, I was pushing myself, like as we've said, like pretty consistently. And then that was one that I secured like near the end of the placement. So it's something
Mm.
almost to mark the placement year by. Going to the awards dinner and also attending the AGM and EGM, like that was my first experience of like seeing a committee and voting on the outcomes and that sort of thing of the institute. And then my network since the awards dinner has grown massively as well. So really, really rewarding.
Also talking of awards, going back a little bit about what you said you've applied for a lot of awards. You got pushed to apply for a lot of
Yes,
awards. What would you say your proudest award is? We'll obviously say the ID award, but
yes.
but any others spring to mind? And also, how did you go about, like, what did you do for them?
So one of my other ones that like I was shortlisted for on placement, I'd say was probably one of the proudest ones as well, was the Design Innovation Plastics Award. And this is one that I would suggest other PDE, so design engineering students or product designers also go for, because it's an annual competition that there's like a brief that's sent out and then you design a solution to it.
Okay.
At the time that the brief was out and that sort of thing, it was during a quiet period whilst I was at Sagentia. So it was sort of mid-phase. So there wasn't an awful lot of work coming my way. So I thought, right, I'll push myself with applying for another award. So the design in plastics competition was, I think it was designing a fitness product was sort of the main brief, and like
Okay.
working on the sustainability of it and that sort of thing. So I implemented the skills learned on placement in rendering and the surface modeling as well, to develop this rotational molded water filled pulley system.
Oh, okay.
And so I was unfortunate not to get to a finalist in that one, but I was really proud to get to the shortlist, and then that sort of pushed me to apply for more things as well across the year.
That's brilliant. Um, and with all of your projects, all of your awards, what do you hope like the world of design holds for you in the future? Where do you hope to go after university?
So in the short term, I'm looking at a master's in sort of management,
Okay.
a blend of sort of engineering and management, and also keeping sustainability in the picture over the next sort of couple of years. I want to be gaining some more commercial exposure. So like I've said, the Sagentia year was just incredible.
Mhm.
But I'm also obviously aware of the sort of multidisciplinary application of engineering and design. So I want to sort of broaden my horizons. Um, so I'm keeping an open mind over the next few years, but then with my entrepreneurial mindset, I'd love to like start a consultancy in years to come, or like if there's a startup idea I have for a product, then I'd go all out on that. But I could see myself like doing really well in a startup.
I I'd love to see where you go with a startup, because from what you've told me already, I think some of the things you could be doing is insane.
Yeah.
And the last question I have for you is there any advice or anything you want to tell someone that might be interested in pursuing a product design degree?
Yes, there's a few things. So I would suggest networking early. So one of the things at Loughborough that they said to us was, build your LinkedIn, start building those connections early. Don't be afraid to ask and reach out to people. So one example of that being this healthcare engineering project we're working on right now, just through speaking to a link that I knew, I've managed to then be put in touch with a surgeon at Great Ormond Street Hospital, and next Monday I'm going in to watch a procedure.
Oh my God.
So it's just through like literally just asking people. Don't be afraid of rejection. And so that's first thing, the networking early. Push yourself, because like awards and scholarships are great on a CV. They're really going to help you stand out. So it's about 750,000 graduates, I think, in the UK can't find a graduate role coming out of uni.
Oh
So
my God.
whatever you could do to stand out is going to really, really help you. And then the other thing I'd say is also, again, standing out is attending like the exhibitions. So find what you're interested in. It may not even be directly related to the course, but going to things, being proactive, posting it, say, on your LinkedIn, like that is going to really help you stand out as someone who looks professional as well to companies. And then I guess one more like based around the module, I'd say start your module work early, because
Okay.
quite often, and myself included in the past, you've left it a few weeks and then you get going, but always you think, oh, what if I started like right at the start and got on
Mhm.
with it? Um, And so one of the things I'm implementing now in my third year is, well, start and then time block on the calendar and organize it, but then actually aim to finish your modules earlier. Go to the supervisor or the module leader, get some feedback, and almost go, what would my grade be right now in this module?
Yeah.
And then go, what can I do now over the next 2 weeks and really level up, your academic success as well at uni.
That's really good advice. Definitely some things I probably should have done when I was at university.
I wish I did that across my first year, but
Yeah, first year, isn't
yeah.
it? Well, thank you so much for talking to me. You've been amazing, and I am honestly just blown away by everything that you're doing at the moment. Um, Thank you for listening, and all of our social medias will be linked below. Until next time, bye.
Thanks, Molly. Bye bye.